Coming up on RMU Live, more travel headaches for drivers using the Liberty Bridge and the Boulevard of the Allies. Over 200 people gathered on campus to raise awareness on suicide prevention and mental health. And an explosion in a Russian metro station left at least 9 people dead and several more injured. Next.
Welcome to RMU Live. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2017. Hannah and myself, this is our final show. I'm Eddie Shee.
Well, he already said I'm Hannah Smith, but here's what's happening now. More traffic headaches for drivers with the closure of the ramps to and from the Liberty Bridge to the Boulevard of the Allies. The ramp shut down Saturday night and will remain closed for the next several months. Crews are working on bridge wing reconstruction and grid deck installation. Weekend and overnight closures will also take place over the course of construction. The violent beating of a man in North Braddock is under investigation this afternoon. Allegheny police said 21-year-old Lafayette Good and another suspect beat the 21-year-old man, then drug him across an apartment. Investigators say the beating was out of retaliation for the beating of one of Good's relatives, allegedly by the victim. The man remains in critical condition.
Allegheny County Police are investigating a shooting that occurred in Clairton on Sunday night. The shooting occurred near the intersection of Van Kirk Alley and Ross Avenue. A 23-year-old man was found at the scene, shot in the hip. He was immediately taken to the hospital, and so far, no further information on his condition has been released. And a crash early Sunday morning in Shaler Township led to the hospitalization of one person. The crash was reported shortly before 3 a.m. on Mount Royal Boulevard. The vehicle had extensive front-end damage, and utility crews had to replace a utility pole. Mount Royal Boulevard was closed for several hours between Wetzel Road and Glenshaw Avenue as a result.
A blaze destroyed an Elizabeth Township home undergoing renovation Sunday. The owner of the property said that about $22,000 had been pumped into the home. Officials said the fire does not appear suspicious, but the cause is under investigation.
Residence halls have always been a sensitive topic for students on campus, but one of the most critiqued aspects of the RMU living quarters is the lack of student lounges in housing. With more on this story, here's RMU Live's Gage Golding.
We're here inside Ross Hall Freshman Dormitory at Robert Morris University campus. And this room behind me used to be a common room for students to go in, play activities, games, or study, until enrollment here at Robert Morris increased, forcing students to live inside the common rooms.
We have always had a lot of students who have been interested in living on campus, and then we don't have enough space. So we started renting rooms at the hotel up the street, which was the Holiday Inn at the time. So instead of using the lounges, we were able to use that space. And then we ended up actually buying the building and using all 500 spaces over there. And the goal is during the school year, if we can open up those lounges back to common spaces, we would do that.
I actually envy other campuses that have that. It seems really nice. It lets people get to know each other more, especially with us being a small campus. I think that would greatly improve everyone's social lives here. I think it's just a really good idea overall, because I agree there is a lack of common areas for people to hang out.
There's also Jefferson Hall is going to be turned into, I'm not sure yet, but who will utilize it, but there will be additional lounge spaces there. Also in Yorktown, they're talking about revamping the old restaurant area and turning it into a student-friendly space.
I definitely think they should add lounges and at least things of that nature, common areas for just students in general. And I think a lot of people would benefit from it, because if you have a lounge area, a common room, that's, you know, where you go, meet people, hang out, enjoy it. So I definitely think it would make the overall tradition of a college campus much better, much more traditional.
Although students don't have many areas that offer common spaces for studying games and hanging out, the university does have plans to build or create common spaces for students to use. Reporting for Robert Morris University Century Media, Gage Golding.
Over 200 people gathered around the Nicholson Center for the Out of the Darkness walk on Saturday. The 5K was hosted by the Counseling Center and the Thrive program to help raise awareness about suicide and mental health. The event raised over $9,000, and you can find more information about the walk on our website. The Robert Morris community is mourning the death of a fellow student. The Office of the President sent out an email to students yesterday announcing the passing of 23-year-old Mohammed Al-Sabi. Mohammed was a senior studying industrial engineering, and no further details have been released. Our thoughts are with Mohammed's family and friends. Well, today it was dry this morning, but the rain should be here soon, right, Eddie?
Absolutely right, Hannah. Not any rain just yet, only cloudy outside, but we are moving into that. Right now, 72 is a little bit high. We're actually at about 68 right now, though we're going to keep warming up. Started a little colder this morning, but as I said, it's going to warm up throughout the day, and then we're going to move into our chance of rain. The chance of rain right now is high, about 70%, though that's definitely going up 80, 90% as we get closer to 5 o'clock. So I'll have more on that during my full forecast later on in the show and my full 5-day forecast. Something I want to show you real quick. I mentioned that today was the last show. I show every day a photo, or every week I show a photo of what the weather is like. I thought it would be fun to take a look here at what the weather has been like over the semester. Surprising in a few different ways, I think, because this is the winter time mostly, and there's only this one picture here with some snow, though another common thing you can see, clouds, clouds, one sunny day, mostly clouds everywhere else. Anybody who lives in Pittsburgh knows we only average in a year 69 sunny days a year. It's not a lot, and unfortunately, it's springtime. And during my 5-day later in the show, you're going to find out those cloudy days and those rainy days, they're here to stay. Hannah?
And for everything you need to know about RMU news, sports, and arts and entertainment, be sure to check out RMUCenturyMedia.com. Well, that sounds like some good weather here.
Absolutely. Now, when we come back from the break, an explosion at St. Petersburg left at least 9 people killed this morning.
And Ecuador elections almost ended in a tie. We have the details in just a few minutes.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Developing this afternoon out of St. Petersburg, Russia. At least 9 people have been killed and another 20 were injured after an explosion in between 2 underground metro stations. The head of Russia's National Anti-Terrorism Committee said the blast hit the train between 2 institute stations. President Vladimir Putin said all causes, including terrorism, are being investigated. Severe weather battering the southeast claimed 2 lives in Louisiana. A 38-year-old woman and her 3-year-old daughter were killed yesterday when a tornado blew their mobile home off the foundation. At least 3 tornadoes were reported in northeast Louisiana and 15 structures were damaged.
President Donald Trump will come face-to-face with the presidents of Egypt and China to confront both leaders about accusations of grave human rights abuses in their countries. This will be the first in-person meeting President Trump has had with both parties. Initial signs show Trump may not say much on the matter during his talk in public, but the White House officials say that they're trying to handle this matter as discreetly as possible, as it is a sensitive issue. President Trump said that he is ready to fix the nuclear threat posed by North Korea, with or without the help of China. Trump declared on Sunday that he would be willing to do this alone to retain the secretive country's nuclear weapons program. He did not elaborate on how he plans to stop North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un.
All 12 people arrested in connection with the London terrorism attack have been released with no further action. The attacker, Khalid Massoud, was shot and killed by police. 4 people died and dozens were also injured in the attack. Metropolitan Police said they do not believe Massoud was directed by ISIS or Al-Qaeda. United Kingdom legislatures have laid out the plans to move forward as they work to get Great Britain out of the European Union. Officials said thousands of European Union laws will be converted into domestic laws. The areas covered in what many are calling the Great Repeal Bill include workers' rights, environmental regulations, and how financial services industry operates.
Ecuador's presidential campaign was a nail-biter as results came in last night as the 2 runoff candidates were polling within 3 percentage points of each other, with 96% of the votes counted. Candidate Lenin Moreno was in the lead with 51.1%. Opponent Guillermo Lasso had 48.9%. Non-governmental organizations called the race a virtual tie, but as all votes were counted, Ecuadorian state media declared Moreno the winner by 2%. On Saturday, Venezuela's Supreme Court revoked its widely criticized ruling to take over the National Assembly's legislative power. The court announced this after the government had urged a review of the decision from Wednesday. The courts ruled earlier this week that all powers under the legislative body would be transferred to the court. The opposition called this move a coup and removed certain parts of the legislation that took over these powers.
More than 200 people are dead after torrential rains caused mudslides in southern Colombia. CNN reports that rain caused 3 rivers surrounding Mocoa to overflow and send mud surging through the city. Around 400 more people were injured, with over 100 missing, also deemed as missing. Colombia's Farsi rebel group has offered to help rebuild the town. Due to the flooding, the government has approved the involvement in their efforts to rebuild, and the offer comes as a peace deal with Colombia. 400 rebels are expected to camp nearby for the work.
Well, here's a piece of good news for you today. A study found that a cap-like structure that makes electrical fields to fight cancer improved survival for the first time in more than a decade for people with deadly brain tumors. Many doctors are still a little skeptical about this treatment and the price at $21,000 a month, but in the study, more than twice as many patients were alive 5 years after using the caps, plus chemotherapy, when compared to patients that only used chemotherapy. This out-of-the-box treatment has left many doctors on the fence, wondering if it is, in fact, actually helpful.
A potential record could have been set for a Minneapolis, Iowa fire department as 6 firefighters welcomed 6 babies in just 7 months. All the firefighters work at the same station, and since August, they have had 3 girls and 3 boys. One of the firefighters joked that the station is getting very good at throwing baby showers. When we come back to RMU Live, sports anchor Rashad Christian talks about March Madness, and the NCAA championship will be crowned tonight.
And I have a rainy 5-day forecast to end our last week of RMU Live with. We'll be right back.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent vampires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Hello everyone, I am Rashad Christian. I'm here to catch you up on the world of sports, both professionally and here at RMU. The championship game is set, and at 9:20 tonight, Gonzaga and North Carolina will battle for immortality. We know last year UNC had their hearts broken, but this is the time to redeem themselves. On the women's side of D1 basketball, the South Carolina Gamecocks defeated the Mississippi State Bulldogs for their first program championship. Moving over to the Greens, Masters season is upon us, and today marks the start of the practice rounds. Practice rounds will last 3 days, and on April 6th, round 1 will begin. Since losing 4 straight games, the Pittsburgh Penguins have won their last 2 against the Rangers and the Hurricanes. They have 4 games left until the playoffs and currently sit at number 3 in the Eastern Conference. This is the last time you'll be seeing me on RMU-Live. As Eddie mentioned, this is the last episode of the semester. For the last time ever, I'll be sending it off to Eddie for the weather. Ed?
Thank you, Rashad. We will definitely miss you. All of us are leaving, actually. It's a weird, complete transitional time here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, 72 degrees today is going to be your high. The cold temperatures, we already passed those. Those were in the early morning, around 7, 8 o'clock. We're going to get warmer throughout the day, but that does come with the chance of rain, and a high chance of rain at that. Taking a look outside really quick from earlier on today, a cloudy day. These clouds are not rain clouds, but they're going to turn into rain clouds pretty soon. Within the next hour or so, I would expect that you're going to see more gray clouds outside when you look around campus. Now, taking a look at our weather map, this is the important thing. Here we are up here in Pittsburgh, and down here, this is that massive rain I keep talking about that is going to move through the area. It's going to move up and straight over into Pittsburgh. Now, you can see right in the corner down here, this little yellow spot, that's more severe weather, heavier winds, a chance of thunder and lightning. That might miss Pittsburgh. It might be a little bit south, closer to Washington, but it is something you're going to want to be on the lookout, especially if you're walking to your night class. Looking into tomorrow's weather, 60 degrees. We're going to have a bit of a cool down with a low temperature of 45. As always, that's going to be in the morning times. Chance of rain is 60% tomorrow. It could not rain. There is a chance that it would not rain, but I really think you're going to need an umbrella come tomorrow. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, 68 degrees, temperatures going back up on Wednesday, cloudy, a low of 55. Thursday, partly cloudy, 56 and 38. Friday, 42. We have that cool off near the end of the weekend with a low of 36. A little bit colder than we're used to. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy, high of 55 and 66. Now, all those days do come with a chance of rain. The chance of rain near the end of the weekend is sitting a little bit lower at about 40%, though I wouldn't be surprised if that number continues to go up. So, not fantastic news, but not terrible news. It's going to be a rainy spring weekend.
Hey, it's like I said, as long as there's no snow, I'm happy.
Absolutely. Now, as we keep mentioning throughout the show, this is Our last show, Hannah
Yeah.
and myself, we're graduating and we're going to leave, and Rashad is leaving RMU for new opportunities elsewhere. But we have a few people we would like to thank. You see us all the times on the show. Thank you to our producer, Delaney Hassel, our directors, our camera operators. These shows really are a team effort, and we couldn't do it without you guys. They make all of this possible.
Yes.
We're just
There's
the
no way
talking
we
heads.
just, essentially it wouldn't happen. The magic here you wouldn't see would not happen unless it was for the people behind the scenes working to make it all happen.
Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have on RMU Live forever.
Yeah.
We won't see you next week, but be sure to tune in next year when there'll be brand new people sitting up on the
Yes,
desk.
there will be.